Hey everyone, I had a Black Sun pun, but it's no longer Sunday. Oh well.
Shodo!
Alright, what is up, Soto population? As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and today, well, we have some Kamen Rider Candy Toy news to get through, but we also have some Kamen Rider Black Sun news. I'm gonna sandwich in between, so without further ado, let's just hop into the news, because we have some Soto stuff to talk about, and also the return to an older line, I guess. Let's hop into it. So, yeah, Kamen Rider Live is finally here. This was revealed about a week ago or so. It was last weekend, not this weekend. But hey, he's looking pretty good, except for maybe around the face area. Either way, there are some very interesting updates to this guy. Also, something that no other line is capable of doing is having him come up against Kamen Rider Evil, or even standing them next to each other. They just want you to, quote, engage in your delusions if you want to. I'm sure it'll happen in the show at some point, but hey, this is a Soto exclusive thing. Also, check this out. Did you think that they'd be able to reuse the mold? Well, they didn't. At every point, at every turn, Soto just decides to make a little bit more work for themselves, and you can sort of see why they decided to change the mold here. The cutouts they made for Kamen Rider Evil just would not work quite as well with Kamen Rider Live. That sort of chest area either would have had to have been repainted or otherwise, so this does kind of make sense. That whole chest was revamped here, and also they even added in this extra little area here. This extra, it's on the flank area. There's detail there that they actually decided to sculpt in. They know that there's going to be a sticker going over it anyway, but they did not want to skimp out on the quality. Especially since they were already going to be remolding this anyway, they just decided to throw in that detail, and that's something that I absolutely appreciate. Another thing here is that in the legs, once again, it's tough for them because they have this little extra flap here for Evil that Live just doesn't have, so this had to be remolded as well. I'd wager that the whole thing was remolded and it was all just using that same CAD file. So, yeah. Anyway, also for this guy, we have the return of the front skirt, so that's very good. Sometimes we see variations of this front skirt, where in Saber, we had it connected to the belt a lot. And even sometimes we just had it on this separate hinge, and this is another separate hinge situation, and I do appreciate those. On top of that, we do have the side skirts represented here, but they are a bit different. This piece actually has not been changed since shodo-x, since the first, well, not the first wave, but the first, the first go-around with this line. It had not changed until now. The difference here is the original one, it bumps up against the back of, well, the back when you're trying to swivel around the waist. This time, it frees it right up. Unfortunately, though, this figure doesn't get to take, full advantage of this, mostly because he has the belt. So we are still waiting for a time where we will have a clear area for the waist to swivel around. But also, you're not really moving your body that far anyway, so it's fine. Genuinely, this is fine. Either way, very cool stuff here. And yeah, here's a better look at what sort of bumps into things now. And really, it's just the belt getting in the way. And I don't know, that could change, that could not change. I don't foresee it changing anytime soon, mostly because, the belt sort of just makes the rider. So, oh well. Also, check this out. The back doesn't protrude out as much. Like that little, you know what? Let's get a little comparison. So here is the Eagle Genome and the Live figure, and you can see the strut there holding onto those side skirts. That shows a lot more than this new one does. So they were really committed to creating a pretty good profile here. On top of that, they did note that this is only a recent change they were able to implement with this buy 3 release. So unfortunately, they could not, just get it in time for buy 2. So it's not the end of the world, obviously, but it is a slight inconsistency between the line itself. Either way, I am glad they decided to go ahead and upgrade this. Anyway, like I said, head full sticker. I mean, you get that chin strap there with silver, but those eyes, they are really committed to the compound eye effect, and I appreciate that, but that sticker is rough, man. Also, here is the sticker for the weapon. Unfortunately, on the back of it, we are getting the, quote, meat removal, or those lightening holes, just to make sure the molding process goes well. We've talked about it before on many occasions, so I won't go over it again. Either way, then, after that, they decided, hey, we're not done selling you things. Check this out. Do you remember the old candy toy line where it was just helmets? Well, they're back, except under a different name, and they're starting over with this new wave. They're about $2-ish. These are pretty cheap not really figures. These are pretty cheap statues of helmets, and they decided to just start releasing these again. So for this very first, quote, first wave, but we've seen these before. For this first wave of new guys, we have Revi, Vice, Saber. Oh man, that looks so good. We have 01. We've got Build. We've got Build Cross? Is that it? It's whatever the one that doesn't, the suit that doesn't actually exist. You know it. You'll tell me in the comments. We also have X-Aid. We have X-Aid Player 2, Genome. And this one does have like a visor over the eyes that are compounded, so that's really cool. And then we have O's here, and if you watched our live stream, you'll see our confused faces when we realized, oh hey, is there some red missing on his face for the rest of those wings? Apparently those just weren't painted on the suit itself, so I've heard. So that's really strange. That's something new that I didn't know until, this. But that's cool. Also, we have Kamen Rider Double. That's looking very nice. And then we get a little bit of a size, scaling thing, just to let you know how well these will do in your displays. Also, a side-by-side with the Shodo figure itself, just to give you a better look at scale that isn't, like number related. This is something that people might already have. It's about shin height, if that's what you're looking for. And the head is about twice the size of a Shodo figure's head. So, I don't know. That's pretty neat. Either way, that is it for that week. Let us now move into the Kamen Rider Black Sun news. Oh, wait. I forgot that we had the compound eye they wanted to show off. That is really pretty. That is so effective. I love the look of that. Anyway, that is it for this, I think. Yeah, now it's time for Black Sun, because Black Sun is making some pretty big swings. This is set to come out in 2022. It is a movie that they were talking about. I heard tell of a series maybe in the works. That's not what I'm concerned about, because genuinely, it's tough for me to even watch stuff. I'm interested in the toys. And, this may have some pretty large cultural impact. They even did an interview for this and Hideaki Anno's Shin Kamen Rider for Variety, which is like an actual English-speaking news place, which is very strange. Like, it's weird to see Kamen Rider, like, make it out to, like, places here. Anyway, Black Sun, this suit has been revealed. You have those red lines going through it. It reminds me a lot of Fies, and also kind of like an SIC figure. I'm down for this. It also gives me pause because it kind of gives me some Amazon vibes. I really hope it doesn't lean in that direction, but I'll be excited to see where it goes. Also, we got a look at the cast, and these are rather older dudes. Like, this is something, we're aging this up a little bit. This is aimed at a more teenage, young adult audience, so I am excited to see what this take on Rider will be like when we don't have, like, you know, just a kid in the suit. We have an adult. I want to see what this is about. So, at least a very different perspective in this instance. Also, we gotta look at the bike, and I gotta say, kind of terrifying, because honestly, looks like there's just a dude just fastened to the front of it. I know the battle hopper is supposed to be like sentient, and like it's supposed to be a grasshopper, but this just looks like a dude, and it freaks me out. Like, is there a dude in this bike? Is this another sentient bike that was also maybe like a dude? I don't know. Creeps me out. Probably isn't that bad, but like, anyway, like I said, toys. We got the announcement of the Black Sun belt, and alongside this came an announcement of the Shadow Moon belt, except it's not going to be CSM, it's just going to be like a DX style belt. I don't know how it's going to be released just yet, but hey, we have this CSM one. This is skipping straight to CSM, no DX, no nothing else. Yeah, it's very prototype looking. It very much works in line with the suit. And then like, you just have some side of the road railing going on for the rest of the belt. I don't know. I do like the fashion together nature of it, but you know, we'll see what happens. Anyway, also we had a better look at the suit when they decided to show off the figure art, and that looks fine. It looks fine. I don't know. It's a black prototype. It shows off the curvature and stuff much better. There's also one from the back, and man, is he caked up. But I didn't put that image in here because it was too lewd. But yeah, this looks pretty good. I really, really hope that at some point we do get a Shoto figure of this, for the simple fact that Amazon started something, like Amazon showed up in Shoto and then just vanished. We didn't get anything else from Amazon's, so that means like there's no other like Kamen Rider side media that got represented outside of Amazon's. They opened a door that they never walked back through. I wanted my first. I wanted my next. You know, I wanted everything under the sun that wasn't like mainline. That would be the perfect place for it, and I feel like that would be a perfect place for something like this. Especially if you wanted to do a little bit of a, you know, Black RX sort of shodo-x release. Tell me in the comments down below what you would want for a shodo-x release for something like this. Personally, I'd throw in Black RX, or no, Kamen Rider Black Sun, Kamen Rider Shadow Moon. Maybe even if they're feeling spicy, or if they want to put it in Shoto-O, they could throw in the red version of Shadow Moon. There's plenty of things. You got some bikes and all that stuff. Plenty of things to put into a Shoto-X wave, so let me know in the comments down below what you think would work well for a Shoto-X Kamen Rider Black Sun wave. Anyway, that is it for this guy. Let us now move back into Soto, finish this out. Because honestly, I don't want to say it's not big. There is some very interesting stuff in here, mostly because this guy just didn't make it into Buy 2. By all rights, I feel like he should have been in Buy 2. This is Kamen Rider Kamen Rider Vice Mammoth Genome, and he did not come out alongside the Revi Mammoth Genome, so that was unfortunate, but we are getting him in Buy 3, so in the wave right next. And hey, it looks pretty good. They did note here that a lot of the forearms have become rather similar in their construction, but each and every time, like I've been saying, they're a brand new mold, and what that leads to is some very tight molding, like everything is purpose built so that there aren't any sort of extra pegs and whatnot floating around, and that makes each of them, you know, just tighter molds, and I appreciate that. And I guess they're already remolding these things anyway, so they kind of have no choice but to do this. Anyway, that's a very neat look at these things. Also, here we have a look at the fully painted shins, or I don't know that the red is fully painted, but all the silver gunmetal-y stuff on there, that is fully painted just for us. And I'll tell you why. It's because these things are actually coming on sprues. Now, we will be seeing this a lot more going forward, and it's actually a cost-saving measure. So check this out. It turns out that, you know, these can be popped off rather easily and placed on here. So it's not too much of a worry. The reason they went and did that was because, hey, paint actually costs a lot. And there's a lot of human labor involved in that. If you want to paint something, the labor cost goes up. And in a case of rising labor costs, they want to keep that down. Another thing that that they have like manual labor for is assembly, and that's where the sprues come in. If you don't have to take them off of the sprues, then that's less factory labor that they have to invest in. So they can put more of that money into the painting. That is why, instead of having them separated from the sprues, they decided to paint it. So, basically, we got the paint because they didn't take them off the sprues. All of that to say just exactly that. Also, I translated these from a very old Juoger blog that they did. If you want to check that out, I highly recommend it. It's part of the thread that we did on Twitter. It's linked in the description down below. Definitely check that out because there are some very cool, I guess sort of looks into the design process of Juo King that went through in that entire blog post. So check that out. Outside of that, here's everything revealed so far for Buy 3. It's looking like a pretty big wave. We've got, you know, plenty of room left for some accessories and whatnot, so I can't wait to see what goes on here. We will be learning more next week, so hey, stay tuned. But and anyway, that is it for me this week. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's quite rambly, but I gotta tell you, I did this all in one take. I ain't even re-record. This is my first way through, and I landed. I don't want to say I stuck the landing. I landed. But hey, anyways, if you're still hanging out here, thank you so much for watching. Check out the links in the description down below to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement. Hashtag Stop Anti-Asian Hate. And there's a donation link down there for the Trevor Project. There is a wealth of charities going on right now that need your help. And if you could, definitely go support them. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. If you could go to your local food donation spot, maybe they need some money or some food, you know, do what you can. It's a rough time for everybody. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Keep it. I'll see you next time.